Guys, I need you to really pay attention to what I'm about to say, because the update we just got in this entire David situation is honestly one of the most disturbing turns yet. I don't say that lightly. I'm usually good at processing crazy stories, but this one hit a different level. What has reportedly been brought to light is so unsettling that I had to sit down for a minute just to make sure I wasn't misunderstanding what I was reading. And the worst part? It feels like every time this case surfaces again, it somehow manages to get darker. Every detail is more confusing, more upsetting, and more unbelievable than everything before it. I wish I could say the latest development finally gives us answers, but instead, it raises a new set of questions that are honestly terrifying. So today, I'm breaking down exactly what we know, what outlets are reporting, what investigators are allegedly looking at, and why social media exploded the moment this new information dropped. Because whether someone is guilty or not, the facts coming out are so deeply upsetting that people refuse to let this case fade away. Let's walk through it, piece by piece. When this whole story first hit the headlines, it didn't instantly explode. At the beginning, most people were confused more than anything. The report simply said that a body had been discovered in a vehicle associated with singer David, and honestly, a lot of people assumed it was some kind of horrible coincidence. Many said the car could have been stolen, borrowed, gifted, or used without him knowing. The idea that he might be legitimately connected to the situation wasn't the immediate focus. But then the internet started doing what the internet always does. Digging. Clips resurfaced. Rumors popped up. Old interviews were rewatched. Tiny details that meant nothing before suddenly looked strange. And before long, people started connecting dots. Some confirmed, some unverified, some purely speculative. But it didn't matter. The energy online flipped. People started saying things like, wait, something's off here. The more viewers looked, the more theories grew. That's when the pressure on this case skyrocketed. And as uncomfortable as it is to admit, the only reason this case didn't disappear into silence is because thousands of people kept pushing it forward. Little did anyone know, things were about to escalate even more. This is where the case took the darkest turn yet. Multiple outlets reported that Celeste's body had been frozen before it was discovered. Frozen. That one word alone sent shockwaves across every platform. People immediately questioned how that was even possible. The weather had been scorching that week. The car had been left outside, and she had reportedly not been found immediately. And when people heard that investigators believed she may have been frozen long before the discovery, the entire internet came to a halt. Listen, this is not normal. This is not something that happens by accident. This is not something that anyone was prepared to hear. And again, we are talking about reports, not confirmed public documents. But the fact this claim even exists is horrifying enough. The speculation online spiraled instantly. People were sickened. People were angry. People were demanding answers. And most of all, people couldn't understand how anyone, let alone multiple individuals, could even consider doing something like that to another human being. But then the update got even more unbelievable. The moment outlets revealed that investigators had their eyes on another individual, the narrative shifted again. According to reports, this second person may have been involved before, during, or after the incident. At least that's what some insiders suggested. Their name hasn't been released publicly, but apparently investigators have identified them. And that changed everything. Because up until then, the public conversation focused entirely on David. Now it wasn't just about what happened, it was about who might have helped. Online speculation went wild. Some people said it made the case even more disturbing. Others said it made things make more sense. And some were honestly terrified that the story could be even bigger than anyone thought. Whatever the truth is, the existence of a second suspect adds a layer of complexity that nobody wanted to imagine. But the most confusing part, the timeline. Here's what outlets and online investigators have pieced together, and I'm sticking strictly to what's publicly circulating. April 2024, Celeste is reported missing by family, although unverified posts suggest her friends may have still known her whereabouts. July through August, alleged sightings of surface online, some linking her socially to David. Early September 2025, David's Tesla is abandoned and cited multiple times for parking violations. September 8th, the body is discovered in the vehicle's front compartment. Almost 10 days later, authorities confirm the identity as Celeste. And then there's the whole piece about him continuing to perform on tour until the moment the public confirmation came out. People couldn't wrap their heads around that detail. Some said it looked like he was trying to project normality. Others said there could be innocent explanations. But one thing is certain. This entire timeline is a mess of unanswered questions. And yet, there's one moment in particular investigators seem especially focused on. According to reports, investigators are looking closely at a late-night trip David allegedly took months earlier, sometime in the spring, to a remote area far outside the city. The part that made investigators pay attention? He was reportedly there for 2 hours in the middle of the night in a location that has no obvious connection to him. That detail alone sparked intense online speculation. People started questioning whether something happened there, whether it was connected to the timeline, whether it explained why investigators keep circling back to the spring. Again, these are questions, not accusations, but the reports alone were enough to disturb the public all over again. Because if something did happen during that spring trip, and if the freezing reports are accurate, then the implications are horrifying. Every new detail only deepens the confusion. And that leads us to one of the most frustrating problems in this entire case. Medical examiners are reportedly having extreme difficulty determining how Celeste died because of the condition her body was in when it was found. Some sources even claim the cause of death may remain undetermined, and that has huge consequences. Because even with an undetermined cause of death, authorities can still move forward if they believe enough evidence points towards certain individuals. But the lack of clarity makes everything that much harder. Legally, morally, emotionally, no one wants a case this serious to be left with unanswered questions. And the public? They're furious. They're exhausted. They're sickened by the idea that someone might get away with whatever happened. And yet, until investigators release more information, that's where things stand. Right now, the truth is simple. We don't have all the answers. We don't know the full timeline. We don't know the full list of people involved. And we don't know what investigators will find next. But the internet is not letting this case disappear. And honestly, that might be the only reason it continues getting attention. People want accountability. They want transparency. They want justice for Celeste. And they want to make sure no one brushes this story under the rug. As of today, this is everything we know. I'll keep you all updated the moment more information comes out. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you in the next video.